The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Fosters After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Fosters After Show.
Hey everybody, we are AFTERBUZZ TV and we are so excited because our favorite TV family is back. It's the Fosters on ABC Family.
Yes.
Now we're about to talk about today's episode called The Honeymoon. Before we do, we have a very special guest, Hayden. Hello.
Hi. How are you guys?
Great, thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course, Hayden plays Jude. We knew that already, though. But yeah, we're so excited. It's back on the air.
It is.
Finally,
oh, man.
I've been waiting.
After so long,
yes,
it's finally back.
I know.
People have been waiting for months.
I've been waiting for months. I've been rewatching the episodes for months.
Oh my god.
Just watch them. I wouldn't be surprised if you knew all the lines. And you just...
I might know some of them, but we're not going to try.
All right, before we start going, please introduce yourself, Stephanie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Giorgi, and so excited to be here right now.
Yeah, my name is Jillian Leff, and I'm so excited to be back. But Stephanie, I'm especially excited to have her because she is a Fosters super fan. She was on our finale, and we're so excited that she's hosting with us this season.
And my super family mean crier. Every scene.
So emotional.
I know. I'm Jeffrey Masters. So when did you guys start shooting again?
We started shooting again, we picked up this January, obviously. We took a little winter break, but we started shooting around October, around Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very early.
Cool. What episode are you guys on now?
We're on episode 20. Or 19, 20.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so excited for all those episodes.
Yeah, very fast. Yeah. Film them a lot of time in advance, so it's very
all right.
cool.
Well, I guess the biggest plot point tonight was Callie wanted to become Orphan Annie.
Right.
Runs away.
Yeah.
Selfish Callie.
So much happened in the season finale last year, I guess it was, that I was blown away by the recap.
It's crazy. It's also the Fosters is day by day, it's so crazy how all this stuff can happen, and it's just a week. It's so much drama to handle in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
But such a true family. A lot of drama happens with families every single day. And again, I missed the realness on TV.
Yes.
I was it was lacking over the summer in my programming that I was watching.
I know, right?
Even though Real Housewives is reality, it's not. So I was excited to see a family back, and this season or the B season, as we're going to call it, picked off right where we left off with the honeymoon.
And I think going off the realness too, I really love that they don't try to hide or sugarcoat anything.
I know, that's what makes
very
it so
real.
much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Steph and Rena. We see hugging each other, on their honeymoon.
We love that scene. That was so beautiful.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's very family-like. It's a true family. That's what true families do, and that's what they show. It's awesome.
Yeah, all aspects.
Yeah,
I love
it's very
it.
exciting.
It's take place in San Diego, where I'm born and raised. So
that's very
love
cool.
that.
Wow. Love San Diego.
I know. How far in advance have you kind of known about Jude's storyline?
Whenever I read the script and see what he's going to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty much a surprise to me as it is to everybody else.
Wow. Did you have any idea that Blue for Jude would catch on so much?
I had a feeling that people would like it, but I never thought it would go as far as it did. I mean, it blew up. People were so excited about it.
Well, I cried when that happened, when Connor came out, and I was like,
Yeah, it was so sad.
And then Twitter was just like on a storm with
It
everyone's
was
like
so
nailed
great.
pictures.
Yeah,
that
I
was
got so
awesome.
many pictures that night. I was looking at them all, and I was staying up for hours just checking out all these pictures and all these friendly tweets and it was so touching, and it was amazing to hear all these different tweets. It was awesome.
I mean, we talk about groundbreaking television with the show all the time. There have been so many firsts. And, you know, we have to commend the writers and the producers of the show, because without them, these stories would not be told. And, you know, do you ever, you know, look back? Because you're sort of, it's the first of its kind, your character, on television. So,
Yeah.
You're groundbreaking.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you could say that.
How does that feel?
It feels very cool. I feel very blessed and very lucky to be where I am and to have this opportunity. I started acting just kind of for fun, just to try it out, and it turned out to be this really big thing that I was good at, and it's been a wild adventure, but I love it. It's
You're
very
great
cool.
at it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And you've probably made so many kids feel good about themselves too. Just
I
showing
would
how
hope
you've
so.
handled everything through the show. It's been so beautiful with strength and positivity, and at the same time you have like a realistic mind to, you know, the way you think.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that-
Yeah, I mean, I hope that some of the kids out there who are different and are special definitely embrace that, and I hope that watching the Fosters that they feel more comfortable about that. I mean, it's not hard to be different. It's hard to be different. It's not easy.
But what I liked about your character was you made the kids realize that they're not that different.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, they're not that different, and there are other people like that out there. But I think we should get into talking about the episode, because
Yes,
there
of
were
course.
so many delicious things.
So much
that happened.
stuff.
I know. Well, it kicked off with like the honeymoon, which I guess like for a mother of 5 kids,
Right.
can only be like, you know, 10
The
hours.
scent of bacon in the air.
Exactly, right?
So romantic.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy that Annie Potts stayed on the show for one more episode.
Annie Potts is fantastic. I love her. She's an amazing actress. One of the cool things about her is that her husband, Jim Heyman, actually was the director of that episode.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they worked together
Hayden
on
with
a
the fun
whole lot
facts.
of shows. It's very cool.
Did he direct last season too?
He did. He directed one of the
cool.
episodes last season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great how they pull people to come on to do like things like that.
It's a fun
I think
tidbit.
all of the directors we've had are just fantastic. Every single one of them has been great. So it's
And the
been very
episodes
cool.
are just fast. They move along. They're gripping. These commercial breaks. Man.
They kill you.
Yeah, we purposely start the show late so we can fast forward during the commercials. So we're catching up on our tweets during this, but we cannot wait.
We have tweet
We're
breaks.
nervous watchers.
So hot.
I don't know. I was just Callie ran away. That was like a big part of this episode. Was it because I don't know, Brandon was such a bad kisser? Is that what I was getting?
That's what we were all thinking.
I think that's what I got, right? Yeah, that's
Team
sad.
Valley, Team Valley.
Someone needs to tell him that.
Team Rally.
I
so
know.
much
Bring
of that
Madison
stuff.
back.
No.
No, I'm done with her.
No.
I said goodbye. I'm good.
All that gossip, man.
Oh my god.
That was
no.
pretty entertaining, though.
Is Talia going to be on this episode or season?
She will be back this season. Okay. Yeah, she's
my God.
she's still at the school, and it's very cool. She's still crazy.
Okay, good.
Yeah, let's just keep it at that.
Hating her so desperately was one of my favorite parts of last season.
I know. Right? It was fun. I mean, she was great, but I'm sure she's an awesome person. Just
She's a great person. Her herself,
Yeah.
Madison is her name. She is fantastic.
Yeah, we actually had her in studio.
She couldn't have been
she was so
nicer.
sweet on the show.
Yeah,
It was
she's
devastating.
So nice.
He so wanted her to just be this.
I wasn't a host,
I'm
but
not
I totally
talking to her.
watched that episode.
Of course, right? Yeah.
I know. I just think that watching the show, you're like, these are two good moms.
Yeah, and they do it
Yeah.
so well too. I love that they have the dominant side and then the feminine side, and they're able to portray that to their
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
So they're not. It's not like they're. You know, when some people say, "Well, they didn't have the father, role model for me," but they create it.
And I
they
heard
absolutely
the
create it.
brilliant
Yeah.
thing about the relationship is that it switches off per character.
Oh, it does.
know?
Yeah, for sure.
The first episode I think last season I called Steph and Lena like the pretty one. I didn't say she was ugly, but
Yes,
the
but
more butch
the-
one.
yeah.
And it switched, and I was like, that's
Masculine
brilliant.
versus feminine.
Yeah, there was
Yes.
no gender roles throughout the rest of the episodes
No, it
of
was good.
seasons, and I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. One of the things that I love is how they argue all the time. It's a very entertaining thing is to see them argue and bicker about something like the kids or something, and how one of them takes more of the. And it's just like a mother-father thing. Like one's right, one's not. It's a very fun thing to see them argue because their arguments are normal, but I mean, it's about like 5 kids, and
but it's between 2 women.
Yeah, when they're like when they're driving across to find Callie and they drop the glasses off, like that would annoy anyone. And that's the best thing, is that they just show that anyone can get annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very much like a relationship of like parents trying to like figure out how to raise 5 children and not lesbians.
Right. No, of course. Absolutely. And they're so communicative with all of you. You know, they just know how to speak. And like in last season when they were talking about like, man, we even put the condoms in the bathroom, and I thought we talked about it, and I was like, wow, they don't hold anything back.
It's an open household, you know, and again, I don't know if everyone's household is like that. I know that it's not. But it's nice to see, and it was also nice to see sort of the gender roles reversed in this episode. I mean, in the beginning, we see Lena call Steph woman.
Yeah, and she's
like, "Come here, woman."
I love it when you call me woman.
And then, you know, we see Steph get emotional in this episode, and
that was
sort of cry in her mom's arms, and it was devastating.
That was
It was very sweet.
Because she loves you guys. And
was very touching,
that was actually the part that I wanted to see, because I think last season when they asked you if you wanted to be part of the family, I knew that everything had gotten close, but I just felt like I didn't see the sentimental part that I wanted to see from both characters, from Sherry and Terry. And Sherry and Terry, sorry. Okay, and then that episode was so good. It was so good to see her heartbroken. I wanted to see that.
Yeah, she was devastated that she left.
Absolutely.
And you know, she's portrayed as the kind of the masculine wife. You know, she's a cop. You know, she does all these things.
She's a boss.
She's a boss, exactly.
She's the enforcer.
And then you see her very sad and disappointed, and you see Lena kind of step in, and you know, she's that strong side. She's Steph's rock, and it's a very connecting relationship. You know, they need each other.
Yeah.
What I found interesting in this episode is your scene with Annie Potts in the bedroom. By the way, loved that the taco,
of course,
was trending tonight. That was amazing. Foster's fam, love it. But I really liked the fact that she said you were very similar to Steph, because I personally thought that you were more similar to Lena.
Really?
I don't know. I thought you know your character is sensitive.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've shown multiple sides so far.
course.
I mean, we see it in this episode especially. I literally wrote down sassy Jude at one point because you were just like, no.
It gets
You
even
got fierce
sassier.
this episode.
The cool thing about Jude is that now that they want to adopt him, he feels like he has a home. So he's starting to warm up to his brothers.
That's exactly
and
what
his
I've noticed.
sisters.
Yes.
And he's starting to feel like it's his home, and he's starting to act like a
brother.
Like a brother.
You're getting irritated and annoyed, and you're not trying to be this good little kid because you want to get adopted, but you're like, Brandon, you just pissed me off so bad right now.
It gets even better too, because Jude he's portrayed as a very quiet, shy kid, but I mean he has these feelings. Yeah, exactly, right. But he has these arguments with his brothers, and he's just like a real brother, you know.
And like, dude, low blow. You compared Brandon to Liam.
That was I know. Yeah, that was mean.
But at the end of the day,
stab the dagger.
What's your character's age?
Jude's age is 12.
12. Okay, so yeah.
So
At the end of the day, you're so young.
Yeah.
So I know, right? I guess.
But the funny thing is that in the beginning, when they first were shooting all the pilot and stuff, and they filmed, they were like, Jude's 11. And we were like, okay. But over time, they were like, we cannot make you 11. We have to make you 12 because of how tall you're getting. I was growing so much that they couldn't keep me at 11.
Well,
they had to have me
stop that.
Right? I know, right?
When you walked in, I totally thought that too. I was like, oh.
He's tall.
Yeah, very tall.
Oh no, I thought you could definitely tell if everyone had aged too over like, I guess it was like 3 or 4 months of like the pause break.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You totally looked older on screen. I mean, for this season.
Even like Jesus and Sierra, like a little more
did.
like, yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah. There was a little break, and it was a little bit of a difference, but it looked really good. It looked.
And speaking of growing, I know that Sherry saw him as pregnant now. Are they hiding it? How are they doing that? Is she showing yet?
She's
she's pregnant. That's very cool. Congratulations to her, by the way.
Yeah.
Congrats.
And with twins, I think too, right? No. Did I make that up?
Did you make it up?
I read things. I don't know.
Don't make things up.
Did it read that?
She is pregnant with something. I thought it was twins.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, you are. I think it said twins.
I thought so.
I
That's what I
agree with
read.
you. I think it said twins. But what was the question?
Is it a problem? Is she showing that much on the show yet?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she's not. I mean,
she doesn't look pregnant.
No one notices. I mean, she's been doing a lot of sitting down scenes, just in case. But I don't see it.
Okay.
I mean,
so she still
impressive.
looks skinny, and you know it's a great way to stay skinny?
Yeah, actually, Slim Fast. With Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast.
Shocker. Oh my God.
Okay, she's probably going to be doing the Slim Fast thing.
Yes. There we go. Slim Fast. So, after sort of Jude sasses Brandon, we find out a little bit more about why Callie decided to run. She admits to Wyatt that things just weren't working out.
Yep. Yep.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? She's 16, 17. This is so typical of a teenager. They're nuts. Women, teenage girls are just, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're dramatic. And what are you doing running away?
Yeah, like, I mean, I love watching her on the show because she's a wild card. And I'm like, why would you go to that extreme? But, you know, she didn't have great parents growing up. She's still trying to figure it out.
Well, the thing about it is that Jude and Callie were raised in a normal home. Yes, their father, had the accident,
right.
and they were in, his mom was killed, but they were raised in a normal home. It was just like a mom and dad. There was not like a drug home. It wasn't like his father beat his mom, beat them. Like it was a normal home. It was just one of these times where the dad drank too much, and it resulted in an action that just turned their whole world upside down, and it's affected them immensely.
So how long before the story started did that happen? Like roughly.
Well, she was in juvie.
But only because of the incident that happened at the house when she was defending you.
Right, yeah. I mean,
because
the mom...
he was dressing up in the foster father's clothes.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They went into the foster system Jude went in at 6 years old, and Callie, I think, was 8 or 9.
So it's been a while, though.
It's been about 6 years.
Wow. Like, that's enough to, like, mess with somebody's, like, psyche.
Oh, it is, especially for her growth process, too. Which, surprise, surprise, that you're doing awesome.
Well, he's younger.
Yeah.
I know, but that means that it's still more of a growing process through the foster system rather than in the home.
Right.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the foster system, has anybody reached out to you that's actually in the foster system?
I have, the whole cast is actually, they've brought on foster kids onto the set, and we've got to talk to them and hang out with them for like a whole day, have lunch with them. I also went to go see a movie called Short Term 12, which was a fantastic movie about foster children and what happens with them when they're not when they're in the group homes, like what happens to them when they're in the foster care system. So I mean, it was a very powerful movie, and it was a very touching movie. So we have seen a lot of foster kids, and I have gotten like tweets and letters and things like that from foster kids, which has been awesome. I love reading their stories, and it makes me smile and sometimes make me cry whenever I hear these great stories.
See, that's amazing. That's why we love this show, because it's making a difference, and it's also providing entertainment,
Absolutely.
which we love.
And is there any other show on TV with, like, foster kids or the foster system?
No, nothing like this.
Does Modern Family? Isn't Modern Family that have two dads?
Yeah,
but
their daughter's adopted, but it doesn't go into, like,
that's like
the depth.
Yeah, and
Right,
it's more
that's
of and it's a comedic relief rather than what people trying to just bring back. Like Full House had the family problem, Family Matters had the family problems, but this was all before, like, white family, black family. Now we have something that's completely different.
A blended family.
Yeah, a blended
Which is amazing.
family.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's so much of what the world is right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is very cool.
It's amazing that on top of every other issue, the Fosters is able to tackle, like, the foster care system.
Yeah,
Yes,
which is
it
a
is.
very important issue. Like, people don't always think about it. Like, it's not a big thing. Like, it's a lot of kids go into the foster system. There's a lot of kids who don't have homes.
I grew up with foster kids, actually. My uncle is in the Navy, and so he used to always take care. We would have, like, I had foster cousins, and I remember I had a crush on one of them. But they all had their issues, and, like, growing up older, like, I remember Aaron was the one that I had a crush on, and I asked my aunt about him and everything, and I couldn't believe the stories that she knew. Obviously, she couldn't tell us about it because we grew up with them, and we had to be like a family so that they had one, but it's tough. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, Hayden, when you got the role, did you sort of know the background of your character? Like, when you finally got it, what did they sit you down and explain?
When I got the role, I got to talk to the writers, and I got to talk to them all about Jude's character, what his name was, how old he was, what they had planned for him. You know, they said that he was a child who had grew up in foster care, that he had his parents, his mom has died, and his dad was in jail. The whole story behind that, and how I have an older sister who I'm very attached to, how Jude and Callie have never been in a home for more than 6 months.
Wow.
They've been in the foster system for 6 years. All these different things, which were very cool, very interesting to understand. And it was amazing to me how they had thought so much about the past as well as the future.
Right.
What did you do to prepare for it? Like, how did you identify yourself with this character? I mean, not that you have at all a similar life, but you know, just to kind of figure it out. Besides them telling you the background and the story and all of that.
You know, I did kind of compare myself to Jude. I mean, I'm somewhat like Jude. I mean, I'm quiet at times. I'm shy at times, which is hard to surprise because I can't stop talking. You know, I mean, it's a lot of things. Jude is a sweet kid. And I just really kind of looked up what it was like in the foster system, looked up what people said about it. So it was very cool. It was very informational.
And then when you were cast as Jude, before that, did you like meet other cast members? Did they like pair you with Callie for chemistry? Like
no, I hadn't done any chemistry.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, right? Looks good.
Yeah, absolutely.
My gosh.
Yeah, Jude's character is like the heart of the show.
Yeah,
he's like the true center that everyone can like agree on that we'll take care of him and like we'll like him.
I know Jeff and I specifically, our hearts were always broken when you were less of a presence in an episode last season. We were just like, where did he go?
A lot of people were like that. I think it was episode 8. I got so much stuff on Twitter about where he was and all this stuff, and he was like, "Where's Jude? Why isn't he there?"
Did you make up a crazy backstory?
No, I didn't. I should have. I should have said he was, you know, on a trip to Antarctica.
Yeah, I know.
Go race dogs. Something interesting.
Well, this year.
Yeah, right.
So, what do we think Callie's plan is now that we saw her meet up with some, you know, unsightly characters? And then she's
so confused. I think she's really stuck on having this realistic mindset because even before she said, look, don't you know, make us start thinking that this is normal and this is okay because we need to prepare ourselves for whatever.
Yeah.
So she's stuck on that mindset. Now all she wants to do is she wants to act like she knows everything.
Yeah.
And that's what's getting on my nerves.
But the thing is, she is not thinking things through. Like, she gets off of the bus, she goes to apply for a job. She has no ID, she has a fake address. Like, I mean, come on. At 16 years old, I knew that you needed all of those things.
And she's being smirky about it. Like,
well, no, she's trying to win him over with a smile.
I know.
She's trying to be charming. I just could not, when she's meeting up with those girls who like were like working in that corner of the street and you're like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
I was just having like flashbacks to Les Mis. I was like, they're gonna cut her hair, they're gonna put a dress on her, like this is not gonna end well.
I knew that she knew better, but it was extremely heartbreaking to find out that your dad has been out of prison for a year.
Yeah, and Jude actually gets told that in future episodes. And his reaction is he's very surprised. But Callie, I mean, she was just destroyed by that. I mean,
she was so attached to his letters. You know, she had brought it up so many times. These letters, you know, we were exchanging back and forth, and I mean, we saw the foster kids' attachment to their parents with, you know, Mariana and Jesus, even though you know, the birth mother was detached from their life.
Yeah.
But these connections that you obviously have, especially because you two grew up with the father.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the absolute worst. I mean, I felt for her. Maya, I'm sorry, but this episode, you were just...
I know.
Oh my God. So unlikable.
Are you able to tell us, is the dad going to be a character on the show?
I don't think I can say that.
Okay, either way. Okay.
Look at you. You're like pressing tonight.
I'll look this way and I'll squeeze you.
Right. Wink twice.
He is literally trying to get a scoop out of you so hard.
I'm curious as a fan.
I mean, it's a very big question. I mean, you would definitely want to know. I don't think I can say.
Okay, it's like the Liam of like this year.
I mean, I think that kind of gives it away.
Of
Yeah.
course.
You just play coy.
I can't. Yeah.
You just play coy.
You're good to go.
We get it. We get the game.
As long as he doesn't take them away from the family, I don't care.
Well,
Well, but I don't think that would be a bad thing. That's their father.
Yes, it would, because they wouldn't be on the show.
Then it's a
We like these characters. Yeah. ABC Family loves their spin-offs.
the Jacobs.
Right? The Jacob.
It wasn't until like I don't know, I think I'm a smart person, but like it was like 5th or 6th episode, I was like, oh my God, the Fosters. The Foster system. Besides that, though, I do have a college degree.
I can't with him. So yes,
Awesome.
Callie was a big part of this episode. We still do not know where she is at this point.
She's at jail. That's where.
Well,
Well, not anymore.
no.
She called them, so now she doesn't know what to do. Now
This
she
is
just
the
feels like an
thing.
idiot.
It was a quest to just leave, and now it's a quest
To
to
save
find out.
Jude.
No, to find out where the father is, because although she cares about Jude, she feels like she is more helpful not involved in his life.
One
Right?
thing about it is that she is going to go to juvie because of her sandwich thieving.
I know that's what, and she's doing that because she doesn't have anything to eat, and you're gonna get fed in juvie, and you're gonna have a place to sleep in juvie.
Prisoners actually get really
Good treatment.
good treatment.
Yeah.
I mean, they get like health benefits
and
they get
black eyes.
meals a
Except
day.
for getting beaten
Well,
up in the first episode.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I mean.
But that's why
There's
a lot
good and bad to it,
That's why a
I
lot of
guess.
prison mates who escape find a way to get back because they got so used to that system. Not that she's used to it, but like at this point where she obviously can't be with the Fosters,
Yeah.
that she wants to go back
I mean,
to juvie.
she saw her future. You know, the
street.
the nice lady that gave her phone out of her
Girl,
cleavage.
she was young.
Yeah,
yeah.
she said, I was you. And I think that she was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
She's
well,
like, well,
slap in the face.
Do you notice she had short hair like Anne Hathaway in Les Mis? I'm just saying, it's a spinoff.
Exactly.
I don't think that she thought that jail like looked good and would be like fun, like Danny, like a vacation. I just thought she thought, what else?
she didn't care.
Exactly. No, that's absolutely what it is.
She didn't care. I mean, it's also quite interesting because if she's put into juvie, then her parole officer will hear about it. Right. That's something I find interesting is that I mean they'll know where she is
Right.
because she'll be in a public system. So that will be interesting to see where she goes.
And did Steph and Lena call Child Protective Services? Didn't they call?
yeah,
they
they called.
did. Yeah,
they
so-
called her parole officer to make sure to
Just let
send
them know
out
what was going on.
help. Yeah, just to see if they could find her in San Diego, which they knew she wasn't there.
Well, we
But
know that Callie is at the top of the hill right now, so she's coming down. This was a lot
I hope.
Callie-centric episode, so she's about to tumble down the hill. I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure.
Also, like Jesus and Bianca's relationship.
Very sad.
That was super
Very
Bon
sad.
voyage. I know. Was that? So we know that
I'm a little bit
Bianca.
happy about that. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Bianca, aka Lexi.
Lexi.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
she
Lexi.
booked her MTV show. Was she going to depart from the Fosters before that happened, or is that like a coincidence?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not perfectly aware of that. I don't think she was. I think that she was to stay there a little bit longer, but
She got a great opportunity.
It's
I
probably
don't know
just
for sure.
in between.
We're happy for her.
private.
That's exciting.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
That's it was
Yay,
very cool.
Bianca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll tune into that maybe.
You're gonna check that out.
I would
I just
like
feel
to.
bad for Mariana though because I think she needs a friend. So that's a bummer.
She'll find one.
I think she'll get a bestie. I think she'll get a boyfriend. I know
I
that
hope she gets a
yeah.
boyfriend. She needs a boyfriend. That's what she really needs.
Let's be real. In the A season, she was trying to be the other half of that like slam poet, and we knew that wasn't
Right.
going to work because let's be real, she
Yeah.
needs to be treated like a princess, and she was trying to change herself for a man, which
That nose
we know
Doesn't work.
Might have not been available.
Not the
either
good
for
thing
her.
to do.
No, you do not change yourself for someone. But I think that, I mean, we saw very little of her in this episode. And I think that, now that sort of Lexi has departed, it's going to give her character more time to blossom because a lot of her storyline was about the love triangle.
Right,
Well, not
that's
love
true.
triangle, but
Yeah, but
No,
it was
but just
that.
for dealing with
Yeah,
it.
it was a. Yeah.
the triangular
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
no facts to back this up, but I just feel like you said, she's gonna have a love interest on the show, like coming
Who
in.
do you think? Do you think that her love interest will be kind of a bad boy? Because she's an interesting character. She is the typical gossip girl of
I
her
didn't even
school.
think of that.
But she's a grade A student. She's a very smart girl.
and a drug dealer.
and a drug.
The facts.
She
Just the
might.
facts.
She
never
might
forget.
want to. She might get a bad boy. I think so.
Is that what you think?
I think
somebody
she'll get a
with
bad boy.
swag, at least.
I think every girl goes for the bad boy. Also because she's never really dated anyone.
No one goes for the good
she's
guy.
like that because she's tough herself. Like Lexi's really sweet. Mariana's tough. Like I think only someone who's a bad boy is gonna be able to hold her down.
She could go for that like football captain straight A student guy though. You know, like the scholar athlete.
I mean, if they notice her, she's a straight A student.
It might be interesting for her to date kind of a nerdy character. That would be very cool to see. I mean, Garrett was kind of a nerdy poet, very nice guy.
Hopefully she's over that. She might get like the Latino version of Wyatt.
Long hair.
I can't.
Long hair.
I do think that Jesus will be moving on.
Absolutely.
I think he'll be moving on. I'm really excited to see who he moves on with because ABC Family has this sort of magic about creating these ingenues.
I heard it was Stephanie Giorgi.
I heard that too.
Okay, so Steph
I
is
love
like
her.
a big crush on Jake T. Austin, just so we know. Spoiler.
Kidding.
But yeah, I'm excited to see who the girl is because hopefully a career will be made. I love seeing fresh new faces. We love seeing fresh new faces.
I would love like a
it's very
crossover
exciting.
from like Switch to Birth, like maybe the deaf girl comes in.
I very funny story. Katie Leclerc.
Yeah.
She plays the deaf character. My mom, she went to high school with her sister, and my mom's best friend had sleepovers with Katie.
Oh my
gosh.
And she grew up in the same town that my mom did.
Small
the law,
ABC
what is it,
family
the
world.
law of, what's the 6 degrees of separation?
Yeah.
We're all connected.
Yeah.
Minus Kevin Bacon.
That's fun. Interesting.
Yeah.
I love that.
We're full of little
awesome.
facts.
I know, you're very
love
informative. I love it.
Of course, yeah, anytime.
You know, when Danny was on the show, he told us that you were the most mature person on set.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. It's
Wise
between
beyond
David
your
and I.
years.
It's
Yeah.
between David and I.
I believe it. I see it.
Yeah.
Guys, should we jump into predictions for next week's episode?
I would love that.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Now, you probably can't partake.
now.
Hayden.
You can like laugh and just go. You guys go first.
Okay, blink twice. I think that Callie will not be reunited with the family next week. I think.
No.
And I would like to, I don't know if it's a prediction, but I would like to see Danny more involved with the family like he was this episode.
That was so
I love
cute.
that.
Was hilarious.
And I loved his like dynamic with the kids. Like, I'm not your father, but I am fathering you at this time, and I'm going to be a good role model and not drink in front of you.
Yeah.
I predict, though, that the drinking will come into play in this season 1B action.
Okay. I predict, I hope that there's less crying because we were all very emotional, especially when you cried,
I can
sir.
spoil that now. So much crying. I think that's something I can say.
Well, you heard it first. There will be Kleenex. So, I mean, I guess that prediction is foiled, but I'm excited to see sort of more Callie Brandon action because he did say that we didn't mention, he did say I loved her. He said the L word in this episode.
I love her.
And that's really, really important, and it's totally going to carry through because as we saw in the preview, he confessed his love of her to Lena and Steph. So
Such a crazy
For next
story.
week?
It is.
For next week?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm excited to see the L word used a lot more often, and hopefully Callie will wise up. I don't know what's going to happen to her. Steph?
Well, forbidden love is the most exciting love. So I definitely think that that's going to happen also. And then I think that it's going to be a very dramatic event, but she will come back next episode, but just it's going to be gnarly. And I'm ready to see the moms turn into mama bears, but like in her face about it. And almost take the position as her mother right away, even though the adoption hasn't been done, but like set her straight. That's what I'm hoping. And then I hope that running scene happens next week.
Before we continue with our predictions, this kills me. Inside, literally knowing what's going to happen and hearing what's going to happen, it's awful.
I'm curious to see like what's going to happen with Callie. Like, can she even return to the family, or does she have to spend time in?
They'll make it work. No, they'll make it work.
No, I'm really excited to see what they do with it. They always find a way. She'll find a way.
That Chula Vista Juvie.
So anything, Hayden, that you're looking forward to, you can say.
We don't
want to get you in trouble.
No. I'm looking forward to all the drama and everything that happens. I am looking forward to the next storyline of the next couple episodes.
Okay.
The next one is really good, by the way, just to let you all know.
I think I'm sweating.
Thanks. It's like
Get you
7 days
in-
I'm
away.
nervous.
He's schwitzing. Oh my
Get
god.
you in suspense.
I'm gonna make friends with your mother and watch the show.
And I'll buy you guys all Kleenex.
And she will talk about it. She will talk about it.
All right, well, before we depart, tell us where we can find you on Twitter.
You can find me at Hayden Byerly or Bylerly11.
Great.
And you can find me at Stephanie Giorgi, Giorgi, or on Instagram at Steffi with the YG47.
You can find me on Twitter at Jillian Leff or on Instagram at Jilly Leff. And be sure to tune in to my other show, American Horror Story, on Wednesdays on AfterBuzzTV.com.
And I tweet from Jeff Masters 1. Guys, we will see you next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
I like the horn. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.